Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 10. Up to this point, you've explored the ethical foundations of medical interpreting, learned how to stay in role under pressure, examined ethical dilemmas, and gained an understanding of professional certification pathways. This lesson brings everything together. We'll focus on what professionalism looks like in daily practice, how you prepare, how you behave, how you manage yourself, and how you uphold professional standards consistently over time. Let's dive in. What does professionalism really mean? Professional medical interpreting is not defined only by what you say during an encounter. It's defined by how you show up before, during, and after each assignment. Because interpreters are trusted with sensitive information, emotionally charged conversations, and high-stakes communication, professionalism is not optional, it is expected. Importantly, professionalism is a continuous commitment. Professionalism in medical interpreting is not situational. It applies even when conditions are difficult. It applies regardless of personal feelings, patient behavior, provider attitude, emotional intensity of the encounter. Professional interpreters are expected to demonstrate reliability, composure, and role discipline at all times. This consistency matters because healthcare environments depend on predictability and accountability, and interpreters are part of that system. So let's discuss the professional positioning, safety, and environmental awareness. Professional practice extends beyond language. It includes how interpreters position themselves, how they maintain interpreter invisibility, and how they stay aware of safety protocols. Interpreter positioning and seating arrangement. Whenever possible, interpreters should position themselves slightly behind or beside the patient, rather than directly between the patient and the provider. This encourages the provider and the patient to speak directly to each other and reinforces interpreter invisibility. Proper positioning supports direct communication, preserves the provider-patient relationship, and keeps the interpreter from becoming the focus. This isn't always possible. Patient condition, room layout, mobility limitations, or appointment type may require flexibility. In all cases, prioritize clear sightlines, audibility, patient comfort, and professional boundaries. Interpreter safety and hospital awareness. Interpreter safety is also part of professional best practice. Healthcare settings can involve emergencies and heightened emotions. Interpreters must be familiar with facility safety protocols, including hospital alert codes. Examples include when any of these medical emergency codes are activated, interpreters are not expected to respond medically. They are expected to remain calm, follow staff instructions, and prioritize personal safety. Confidentiality in practice. Confidentiality is more than a rule, it's foundational. Interpreters are exposed to medical histories, diagnoses, family situations, and personal concerns. All of this information must remain private. Best practices include: you do not discuss encounters outside professional settings. Avoid casual conversation about patients, even without names. Protect notes and electronic information. Be mindful of surroundings during remote interpreting. Confidentiality continues after the assignment ends. Breaches undermine trust and may carry legal consequences. Next, under professional conduct, is impartiality and neutral presence. As you learned in the lesson on scope of practice, impartiality is essential. Professional interpreters do not align with one party over another, even emotionally. Best practices include using first-person interpreting, maintaining neutral body language, avoiding judgmental facial expressions, matching the speaker's tone accurately. Impartiality ensures communication remains authentic and responsibility stays where it belongs. Next is managing personal bias. Every interpreter brings personal experiences, beliefs, and cultural perspectives into the room. Bias is human. Acting on it is not professional. Professional integrity is not about pretending bias doesn't exist. It's about preventing it from influencing interpretation. Best practices include acknowledging internal reactions, recognizing emotional triggers, refocusing on accuracy and completeness, reflecting after difficult encounters. Now we'll talk about staying in role under pressure and knowing your limit. Staying in role under pressure. Pressure is inevitable in healthcare settings. How interpreters respond to pressure defines professionalism. Interpreters may face requests for advice, emotional appeals, cultural misunderstandings, and time constraints. In these moments, return to the core principle introduced at the start of this module. You are there to interpret, no more, no less. Staying in role protects patients, providers, and interpreters themselves. When staying within your role, you should also be aware and conscious of your limits. Professional integrity includes recognizing your limits. Best practice includes declining assignments beyond your proficiency, acknowledging unfamiliar terminology, requesting clarification or support. Accepting assignments you cannot perform competently puts patients at risk and damages professional credibility. Lesson 10 completed, which is the last lesson for this module. You've learned that professional expectations and best practices are not optional guidelines. They are the standards by which medical interpreters are judged. By committing to confidentiality, impartiality, accuracy, self-awareness, and continuous learning, interpreters uphold the integrity of their profession. This commitment ensures that language access is not only provided, but provided ethically, safely, and consistently. You have now completed Module 1, Foundations of Medical Interpreting. This module was designed to establish a strong professional base, one that will support every skill, ethical decision, and real-world interaction you encounter as a medical interpreter. Rather than focusing on techniques alone, this module emphasized professional identity, role clarity, and ethical discipline. These elements are essential because medical interpreting is not simply about speaking two languages. It is about responsibility, accuracy, and trust. See you in the next module.